Venitus nutilis de buonis jubilis milite. Buongiorno, el buonaviti nel parte dedicatia al massaggio del Giovanni del nostro servizio. Bonjour et bienvenue dans la partie message jeunesse de notre service. Good morning and welcome to the youth message portion of our service today. How many languages can you speak? Well, I just tried to speak 3, Latin, Italian, and French, and clearly I'm not that good at it. I really can only speak English and I can listen French, which means that after 13 years of studying French in school, I can understand most of what is said to me and I can answer back in very basic French with a very thick English accent. At one time, all of the people on Earth spoke the same language, and the conversations were easy because everyone understood each other. Brainstorming ideas was easy because they all spoke the same language. And making plans was also easy because, you guessed it, they all spoke the same language. Eventually, the people came up with an idea to build a huge tower. They said, "Come, let us build a great city for ourselves with a tower that reaches into the sky. This will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world." You see, the people wanted to build a tower that was so tall that theoretically it would reach the heavens. They wanted to go to God. And we know, because we've read ahead, that God eventually comes to them, but that's a story for another day. This plan was not God's plan, and the tower was actually in competition with God, one that caused them to praise themselves for their accomplishments, rather than acting in service to God. Genesis, and I mean we only have to go into the first 11 chapters, Genesis is full of people doing things their own way and not God's way. We have Adam and Eve, we have Cain and Abel, we have the wicked people in the story of the flood, and now this! God had already promised that he wouldn't cause another flood, so what could he do? He changed their languages. Can you imagine that very first morning when everyone woke up speaking a different language that they had never heard before? Can you imagine the chaos on the work site as they tried to continue building? Like for me, it would be like building IKEA furniture with Lego instructions. Now, they couldn't understand each other anymore. So the people moved on and they settled in different parts of the world. And the great tower, well, it was abandoned. Today, we live in a world full of different languages, and it is still difficult to understand each other. Now, thankfully, we have technology like Google Translate and iSpeak on our phones and our iPads and on our computers, and they can help us communicate, but they're not perfect. The other advantage is we can communicate without words. We can convey a message with our actions. We can act in kindness and in love to those around us so that no matter what language they speak, they understand those gestures. We can take steps in faith where our actions work to serve God and grow a relationship and improve our communication with him through prayer. So, this week, I encourage you to act out in kindness and in love, to grow your relationship with God through prayer. Because even if we don't speak the same language, those are things that we universally understand. So until next week, God remembers you, God hears your prayers, and God loves you.